Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here from QBKing77.com doing a full review of the Moto 360. Been using it for a while now, and finally going to talk about the device and my experience with it. So I do have a video comparing both the black and gray variants of this device. I'll link to that in the description, so I'm not going to talk too much about the differences between the two. You'll see I did keep the gray with the silver and did give away the black variant. So you can check out that video if you're kind of torn between the two. Anyways, you do have a Horween leather band that is comfortable, so you don't have to worry about this device being uncomfortable at all around your wrist. It's not overly heavy, anything like that. It has a 1.5-inch screen, as you can see. It does have a little bit of height to it. That's one thing I did kind of notice, but it's not too bulky, at least on me. I am, you could say, 6'2", about 180 pounds, so a fairly, I would say I'm pretty taller than average, I guess. So it fits me well. If you're maybe a woman or someone with a smaller figure, it might look a little bit large, so it kind of depends on, I guess, the size of your wrist, size of your hand, and just how it compares to your body shape and size. Now it does have a lot of notches, so like I said, depending on your wrist size, I'm right at just about the middle. So that's about where I am. Flipping it on over, and hopefully this focusing, you'll see it is water resistant IP67, so not waterproof, so you can sweat, splash some water on it. It's water resistant. Don't submerge it in water, I wouldn't suggest that. Stainless steel, heart rate sensor, wireless charging, and pedometer. So lots of neat features I'll talk about in just a second. But overall, I really like the design of it. It is my favorite looking watch at the moment. Just the design is great. I like the button placement here is nice. It doesn't protrude too much. Unfortunately, they had to, you'll see down at the bottom, for the design and engineering of it, they had to have a little black sliver down there, so it's not completely circular. You have a little black gap right there, but it's not too big of a deal. You get used to it. It really isn't a huge pain. I think it doesn't really affect the looks of it too much. Now, I went ahead and put the device around my wrist so you can kind of see what it looks like. You'll see you have two little bands there for it to go through. Adjust it how you like it, I guess. But overall, it fits me well. Like I said, I feel like it is a good shape and size. I'm someone that wears a watch essentially every day, so I'm looking for this to be a watch replacement for me. I have multiple watches that I switch off with, so this is not something I've pretty much used this every day since I got it, actually, but I don't necessarily, when I go out at night, sometimes I'll want to wear a different, more stylish watch, I guess, but this is definitely a great watch that I use essentially all day until I go out, if I go out. Now, some quick specs that it does have. It does have 4 gigabytes of storage, which I have not had an issue with it being too small, too large. It does have a 512 meg of RAM and a 320 milliamp hour battery. I'll get to battery life in just a second. So you'll see, you press and hold this button to get to this settings menu, like so. You can adjust the brightness. Outside, I haven't really had any issues with it being all the way up when it auto adjusts to 5. So you'll see 4, 3, 2, 1. It can get pretty dim at 1. You can't really tell by this camera, but putting on auto seems to work fairly well, and when you're outside you can see the screen. Ambient screen is something that's going to most likely kill the battery the most, so you might want to test it with it off. Like I said previously, I want this to be a watch replacement, so I have it on, so essentially the screen is almost on all the time, just so I can look at my watch and check the time, because that's what I do with my other watches, and that's what I want it to be able to do. So I always have it on, which does affect battery. So if I have it off, I've tested it with it being off, battery life is not an issue all day at all. I mean, it lasts all day as long as I have ambient screen off. However, if I have ambient screen on, it's still going to last me just about all day. So, especially with the most recent update, it has improved battery life as well, so it's nice that they are working at improving. So, continuing on, airplane mode turns off all the radios, etc. You can power off, you can reboot, reset the device, change the watch face. So that's another nice little feature that you can do. Can select that. You can do it from your phone through the Android Wear app, or you can do it right here. And you can also edit, let's say for example, the second dial. You see how it's red there. You can change the color of that as well if you want to edit it. So you'll see there's a lot. If you like a digital clock or an analog clock, you have your options. You can also load custom custom watch faces. I know that there's a lot more coming out now, so I might actually start doing videos showing off how to do that. I think I will. So you got that one. You got digital rotate classic dials, which show the time as well in different cities. But I've selected the minimal one for now. That's been my favorite so far. I probably will eventually like a more custom one, but this is my favorite at the moment. Now, software-wise, it does run Android Wear, of course, and which is essentially the same on all Android Wear devices. So you can swipe down from the top and it'll load up, it'll say mute. You'll see that it does show you the date and the battery percentage. So you see I'm at 48%. I've been wearing this all day and it's at 48%. Although I haven't used it as heavily as I normally do, so normally at about this time, let me see what time it is. It is, you can see, so you'll see it's 7:35-ish right there. So you'll see at 7:35, I turned it on at probably like 8 or 9 a.m. this morning, so it's lasting me all day, and I'm at 48% with ambient screen on, but like I said, I didn't use it as much as I usually do, so normally I would expect it to be at around maybe 30%. So just kind of keep that in mind, but that's being a heavy user. So when I'm a heavy user, I would expect it to be at about 30% at the end of the day, around 7:30. Whereas I expect it to be at about 50% if I don't use it as a heavy user. So like I said, you can kind of just swipe down real quick to mute and unmute the device. When you mute it, it will get rid of this notification down here at the bottom. You can also change that setting so it never shows the notification right here. You actually have to swipe up for those settings to appear, but I have it on by default, so you'll see when I unmute it, it'll show a little glimpse of what is that first card. Now, speaking of cards, so when you swipe up, you'll see I did order a mini DisplayPort to DisplayPort cable, so that has shipped. They let me know I ordered it from Amazon and the package has shipped. That's just kind of a Google Now card that shows up. Swiping through, it'll let you know the weather. If you want to swipe to the right like so, it gives you more information about the specific I guess card that shows up. So you'll see it lets you know the weather throughout the week. Can keep swiping, and it's a mix of your Google Now cards along with your phone notifications. So you'll see this is a phone notification, and it lets me know Instagram, someone started following me. So cool. Thanks, George, or Jorge, however you pronounce it. But if you do swipe it away, you want to swipe it this way, it actually just swipes it away and gets rid of it, and it also swipes away on your phone. So you don't even have to open your phone and look at it anymore. So when you swipe away your phone notifications on your watch, they don't show up on your phone anymore. As I said earlier, you do have a pedometer, so as you saw there for just a second, it did show steps. So you see today I had about 2,600 plus steps. History, I did have to do a factory reset on it, so unfortunately today is probably the first day that I have it. So you'll see it'll go through and give you a bunch of information. I can also go ahead and check my heart rate. I found that this works not too well. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for some reason. It's kind of inconsistent. So I would say, I mean, as you can see, it's not necessarily working at the moment. I'm not exactly sure if there's a trick to have it on your wrist. I have it normally on my wrist, so I would think it should work. It's covering my wrist fairly well. It's not on crazy tight, but it's definitely on firmly and comfortably. And you'll see it just runs through. It says just a sec. I don't know exactly if there's a specific trick to do it. I would think that it should work while it sits on my wrist like it is right now. So just kind of keep that in mind that I guess I could just say I have bad luck with it. Maybe other people have had good luck. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I just, you'll see it just happened in this video to not work well. I'm going to keep going. So you'll see show step card. You can have that on or off if you want to see it. You have a daily step goal of 10,000. So you can save fitness data as well. So going back, like I said, it shows you your steps. History, you can check your heart rate and go to settings as well. Turn it on and off, same ones that were there. Going on back now. You do swipe to the left to go back, exit things, etc., and that's about it. So those are the only cards I have open right now. You'll see emails will show up as well. Text messages will show up. Now, speaking of text messages, there's actually some things I wanted to make notes of. So when you get an incoming text message, like so, let me press enter on my laptop real quick. So should be getting a text message. Okay. And you'll see, there it is, from me saying hi. As you can tell, I use the Hangouts app for my messaging at the moment. I'm using the new Moto X, which I do have a video unboxing. You can check that out if you'd like to see. But as you can tell, I'm using the Hangouts app. What the Hangouts app allows for is I can swipe over and read the conversation. I can swipe over again, reply via SMS. So if I want to say, hey Tim, how's it going? There you go. and it replies. So it sends, shows you a check mark, and it should disappear, or you can just open this app on the phone. So that's how notifications work. So you'll see it added it to the thread. One thing I want to note is through stock messaging applications, it doesn't let you respond to text messages. So you do need to install a third-party messaging application that does support Android Wear. I find Hangouts is the best just because it shows the actual messaging thread. If you forget why someone said something, I find that to be the most helpful. Now, I also use Textra, T-E-X-T-R-A. That works as well. But like I said, the stock messaging app is not a very good option if you are going to use an Android Wear device. Now, another feature of this, which is kind of funny to me in a certain way, is it shows up calls, which is good in one way, which I'll talk about in just a sec. So I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to call myself. Hopefully this works. So I'm going to make a phone call. What you can do is answer the phone call on your watch, which is interesting because if you answer on your watch, you still have to have the phone. You can't talk to the person through your watch. So you'll see it showed up, but it went away. I believe that's because I'm calling through Google Voice, etc. So normally I just got a call from my sister actually, and it showed up. I could answer it by swiping from the right or swipe to the left to ignore, so you do have that option. Now, another nice feature is the OK Google feature or Google search options. You can do a bunch of various things, so I'll show you. OK Google, what's the tallest building in Chicago? So it should load it up. There you go. And it's syncing with my phone, of course, through Bluetooth. And you'll see list of tallest buildings in Chicago. The tallest building in Chicago is 110-story Willis Tower, aka Sears Tower. You can swipe through all the list of, I guess, results. So it gives you a bunch. At the bottom it says open on phone. So if I wanted to go ahead and select one of these, it's going to open on your phone. So if I unlock my phone, I believe it should be opening it on up. It's not. Let me see why. Let me tap it again, and you'll see there it goes. So on my phone, you'll see it's loading up that web page, list of tallest buildings in Chicago. So that's how that works with Google searches. So I guess you only get that little snippet. It does not have a specific browser, so you can look at more information. Now, other searches you can do, very cool things like take a note, remind me to go somewhere, show my steps, show me my heart rate. Send a text message, that's a kind of convenient one, so if you don't want to pull out your phone. You can email people, agenda, navigate. I'll show you navigation in just a second. Set an alarm, that's nice because you can just be like, set an alarm for 20 minutes from now, and it does, and then it'll vibrate on your wrist. It works pretty well. I even took a nap and tested the vibration, and it woke me up, so I can safely use this as an alarm on my wrist if I take a nap. You can start applications, so fit, heart activity, heart rate, all that good stuff. So you'll see I got a notification, another one from Instagram on my phone. I can swipe that away and it won't be on my phone anymore. Now let's try to do a navigation so you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, Google, navigate to Best Buy. Okay, so I believe what it's going to do is it'll give you an option for which address it's going to drive you to, and it's going to calculate route. It's going to use your phone and open up the, I guess, the map application on your phone, and it's going to load up navigation like so. So there you go.
North on South 2nd Street toward East Healy Street.
That speaker is coming from my phone, of course, because this is not of a speaker. So swiping through now, so you'll see it's just persistent. So I can bring that away. So you do put your palm on there to dim the screen. So I can bring that away. I can swipe to the right, lets you know the destination, how many miles, travel mode, and navigation, and mute app. So there's your options there within navigation. As you go, it updates automatically, lets you know when you need to turn left, turn right, all that great stuff within navigation. Alright, and now the last thing I did want to show off is the charging on the device. So, I'm going to go ahead and take this off because you essentially can't charge the device with it on your wrist, which is fine because why would you want to do that? Anyways, I really like that they use wireless charging as opposed to corded charging, especially because with, I guess, watches, you really don't want an open slot for a charging port where you have a little flap. It could just kind of mess with the device. So let me grab this charging. So here's what it is, micro USB slot right here. Just kind of plug it into the wall, and this is it. So this is your little charger. You can go ahead and drop the back of the device facing so, and what it does is opens up this, I guess, kind of nice alarm clock style look to it. Lets you know what the battery percentage is at. You'll notice the beginning of the video is about at 50%, now it's at 40%, so you can kind of keep that in mind. especially with the time frame and how much I used it. So that's a really heavy use, of course, because I'm playing around with it, all that good stuff. So you have a little indicator down here that lets you know it is charging, and that's it. So you kind of set it on the device. You can have it at your desk, bedside, anything like that, and it's going to let you know your battery percentage and you're charging. You can tap it. I haven't really attempted to really use it while it's charging. It looks like you really can't. So while it's charging, it doesn't seem like you can really use the device or anything like that. No response from anything. When you do press the top button, it does dim it a little bit, but that's really about it. So that's you actually have to take it off the charger for you to actually utilize the device. You'll see it turns on like so. But yeah, that's everything I want to talk about. Overall, in my opinion, battery life is good. So I know it was a huge deal for everyone, but in my opinion, I'm a heavy user, and I'm not complaining about battery life. It lasts me just about all day, so I can get through a day while wearing it, and that's all I need. As long as it can get me through the day, I don't mind charging it every night, anything like that. So don't worry about battery life. It's good, especially after that latest update. And with Android Wear updates, you know you're going to get the latest update as soon as they update the software. I feel like the software could use a little bit of work. I might do a full Android Wear software review soon. But other than that, like I said, my favorite look, if you're in the market for a smartwatch, this would be my recommendation for a smartwatch. That's it, especially because it runs Android Wear. It's smooth. I haven't had any really lag issues at all. I've heard reports of some people saying, hey, I've had issues with it lagging. I honestly haven't. Even when I run navigation in the background and do things, Google search, I mean, maybe there's a little stutter every once in a while, but most of the time it's very smooth. So there you have it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I always love hearing from you guys, hear what you have to say about the devices, especially if it's, I guess, different from what I have to say. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment. You can subscribe to me. I'd really appreciate that. You can expect a new Moto X review very soon, this week, actually. So keep that between you and me. But that's it. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. All links will be in the description of the video below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up.